Hello everyone and welcome to another lesson. I'm very pleased to have you here with me today. Today we're gonna go over one of the most important node in n8n. I don't know if you've guessed it, but it's the edit fields node. It's the number one node that I use in every workflow. It's very important and it's very crucial for you to understand how to use it and how you can incorporate it in your workflow. I'll break it into a simple lesson for you guys to understand. I will not make it long. Before I start, I just want to point your attention to my store. Here you will find all of the workflows that I create, in addition to other workflows that I've created that I currently use in my automations that currently also are implemented in a lot of my businesses. You'll find them all here. You can download them and you can resell them, you can use them, you can do whatever you want with them. Hopefully you'll find them useful. And I also have a beginner's course as well. If you're moving over from Make, or if you're starting out, or if you're even advanced user but you want just a refresher over the basics, I recommend this course for you guys to to tackle and go over. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead. I am in n8n right now. I'm going to go over and create this create workflow up from here. You can also use this plus icon that nobody uses, but just for you guys to know. So I'm going to create workflow from here. There we are. So I need just to add my first step here. So I'm going to click on the plus icon and I'm going to choose a trigger. A trigger is a way for you to start your workflow. So I'm going to choose a manual trigger. What this means is that this type of trigger can only be triggered with you clicking this button or this button. Okay? It cannot be activated. It cannot run on schedule. Just keep that in mind. I like to always name my workflows. So I'm going to edit fields. There you go. So let's start by clicking on this plus icon and searching for the edit. Now in make.com, this type of node was called set variable or set variables. Okay. But inside of make, it's not set, it's edit. So when I switched to n8n, I was like, okay, where's the variable? I was searching for variables. Where's the variable node? How can I create a variable? But it's a bit different in n8n. Okay, so it's edit, and you can find it in here. If you click on data transformation, you'll find it here. Okay. So once you click on it, you'll see it added here. So this is with the pen icon. So this is the edit fields. Now let's go ahead and double click on it. We're now inside of the node. What do we need to put in mind? First, you can rename the field from here. So you can rename it here. If you're using a complex workflow, it's very important that you name your name each node so you understand each node what it does. So just put a descriptive name for it. Now in mode, now we're on in a manual mode. So in a manual mode, so manual mapping, this means that I get to create here. So fields to set. So field to set means fields to create, but use the word set. Okay. So let's click on this. Once we click on it, this creates this part for us with a name, type, and a value. Okay, name, type, and value. So the name is the name of our variable. Let's say var1. Okay. Now here we can use the you can choose the type of the variable. Now there are several types of variables, and don't be scared. If you, I'm not a developer, I'm not a programmer, I'm very far away from that. But just these are the basic stuff. I go over these in my course that I just mentioned for you to understand these basics and what they do. Okay, because it's very important to understand the types of variables that you can have. So let's start with a string, and a string is basically, as you can see here with the A, it's a text. Let's name it Jack. Okay, so what do we have now? We already have something going on. We have the name of the variable and the value of it and its type. So if we say test, there you go. So now, as we can see here in the output, we have a variable called var1 and its value is Jack. Now this is the table. Now if you switch to JSON, which is a scary view, but don't worry. So the JSON is here. You can see also the name of the variable and the value. Now you can say here name, like first name, and then you say first name is Jack. Perfect. Okay, so now we have a string going on, which is a text. Let's go ahead and add a number. So let's say age. And for the number, as you can see here, it immediately puts 0 because it's a number. Let's go for 43. And if we test now you can see there's first name Jack and age. You see it in the green, it's 43. You don't see it in double quotes because it's not a text, okay? Keep that in mind. Okay, let's add another one. Let's go for boolean. Let's say employed. So it's either employed or unemployed. So is it true or false? Or either yes or no, either 0 and 1. That's what boolean is. So you have two options, true or false. If you test, so true, perfect. So this one is a bit more complex, which is an array. So an array is a list of things, right? It's a list of things. Imagine a briefcase and you put things in it, and those things inside of that briefcase is an array. Now let's create the array. So we have the array type. Now we have to name it. So let's name this one skills. Okay. So this will be a list of skills that this user has, for example. Okay. So to do that, we have to go into expression mode. So switch from fixed to expression. And then we can create our array. Now, don't be scared. Usually, you don't have to create your array. You can, it's either passed to you from the previous nodes, or you kind of create with a split function. Okay, so let us create our array. So the array, you start with these brackets, and once you put those two, it says array. Okay, so let's start with quotes. Let's say boxing, swimming, reading, for example. So as you can see, as I explained, this array is a briefcase, and imagine this briefcase is within between these brackets. Okay, and inside there's multiple things. Okay, now I have the skills here. Now if I test now, as you can see here, skills, it contains 1, 2, 3. It contains 3 items. So that's what an array is. Okay. Now let's go over an object. So an object is a bit more complex than an array, but there's a slight difference. Okay, let's say for example family. Okay, and here we want to, let's go switch to expression. Here we want to state the number of the kids that this person has. Okay, and as soon as I create this bracket here, this type of bracket, it says object. Okay, so let's first start first name, Lily. So that's the daughter. That's daughter's name. Okay, and then what we could do, last name, for example. Leon. Okay. So now we have an object with first name, so the name of the value. So that's the difference between arrays and object. There's key value pairs. Okay. If we test here, you can see here now we have a family here. It contains two items, first name and last name. Now, if you see here, if you look in a little bit deep, as you see here, this one looks a little bit like this one, right? Because a JSON is actually an object. So all of these variables are inside an object themselves. So so this is an object, and we created and we nested in another object inside of it. Okay. So these are the main type. Of course, if you want to go deep in those, I go over them in depth in my course. But these are the main types. Okay. Now I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna copy all like this JSON. Now we created these items in here, and you can see them in schema. So this schema view is how you usually see make does, right? How usually make creates things. Before I go into the JSON mode, I want to just show you if we create another edit fields here. Now I can click and drag from here. So I can, for example, drag the first name, and it will make up a field, and its first name is Jack. And if I drag the age, it will immediately know, okay, age is a number, and it will go ahead and create the connections for that. Okay. Now, I don't like to use this JSON way, because the JSON way means that it takes from whatever the previous input. So whatever the previous input is, it takes from it. And once you create your workflows and you expand, you usually run into issues if you use JSON. So what I like to use, and what is very beneficial to keep it a habit, is go with the node name. And this is why I said name your field. So earlier node is edit fields. As you can see now, it's the name of the node. It's not JSON anymore. It refers to this exact node, right? And then I can put item and then JSON, and it's and then dot, and I could choose what was the first name. Okay. Now this type of selection, now I can have it wherever I want in my scenario, as long as it's connected. I can immediately refer to this edit fields, right? I'm not referring to whatever comes before it. Okay, so let me go back here and go to JSON view as we said. Now, if we choose to JSON mode, here you can see, oh, okay, it created this. I'm just going to disconnect this. It created this JSON. Now I can write in JSON. If we test just as is, as you can see, that's a JSON. So what if I paste exactly what we had before? Because what we had before is a JSON, right? If we test now, there you go. We got our output as we had before. So you have two modes in here. You have manual, where you can build your variables with switches and buttons and easier. And we have JSON. If you already have the JSON from a different external source or whatever, you can have that as well. All right, so this was the edit fields node. This is the most essential node that you'll use in all of your workflows. So there's no possible way that you'll have a workflow that might not have the edit fields. It's quite a powerful node. It's much more powerful than the set variable or set variables node in Make. I encourage you to use this node moving forward. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, give it a like give it a like below. Subscribe for future videos, and do not forget to check out the link in the description below. I hope you found this video useful, and I'll see you in the next video.